Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44, and I just got through watching the Laker game, and not very pleased. But there were some things in the game that made me chuckle a little bit. First of all, what I thought would happen took place. Nikola Jokic used his back down move many times in this game. What it seemed like to me was the Nuggets were approached this game just like I thought they would, believing that they should have been, victors in the last game, and this series should be a 1-1, and that they would have an opportunity to really seize control because we're not playing that well, and if not for a botched defensive play, they get that victory. So they have every reason to believe that they had found some things that worked, and that's exactly what happened. They made some adjustments defensively and offensively that I thought were fantastic. Mike Malone pushed the right buttons. Jeremy Grant was amazing. He looked like Scottie Pippen out there. I'm not going to lie. Jeremy Grant had a breakout game tonight, and he gets the game ball if you ask me. Jamal Murray hit some shots that were absolutely amazing. Jokic was just beasting down there, doing everything he could to make things physical. And everybody for the Nuggets just really did their job. Their bench just completely outplayed our bench, and because of it, we could never really get in the game. We had situations where we would go down big, because most of the game we were down by, I'd say, an average of 20 points. We would go down big, cut it close. We'd cut it to 5. And then we would go down big, and then we would cut it close. And then we would go down big, and that's how the game was. And near the end of it, with 3 minutes ago, we just ran out of gas. We just kind of ran out of gas. We didn't have any energy. Everybody's shot seemed to just be short. Guys were settling for poor shots just because out of fatigue. It got so bad that Anthony Davis was walking down court at one point, and coach called a timeout. In my opinion, that timeout should have been called maybe 3 possessions prior. But the way the game was going, we were on such inconsistent runs that it was kind of hard to want to stop them, because it seems like every time they would get to a point where maybe you want to call a timeout, we start scoring the basketball. Rondo was amazing as well for the Lakers. He would probably get the game ball had we pulled that win out, because he just turned back the clock and looked like Celtics Rajon Rondo, who used to steal the ball at a high clip on a regular basis. He was just snatching the ball out of people's hands. It was a sight to see in that fourth quarter, and he willed us within 2. But we just couldn't make the right plays. Down the stretch. Once again, we had the same trouble as I had pointed out in the last video about the last game. On the right side, underneath the basket, everyone seems to slip. I don't know why that is, but it's very consistent. And we've had those issues quite a bit during this series. And it happened a lot tonight. So that's something that I think the NBA needs to take a look at in a serious way before someone gets hurt. But a lot of slippage of the hands, as I said in the last game. We had more of that today. Butterfingers, hesitancy. Kyle Kuzma looked like the moment was too big for him tonight, to be completely honest. I was a little disappointed in his confidence level. That's what I saw tonight. I wasn't used to him being bashful. He really, really looked like he was clamming up out there. He looked like his head was not where it needed to be. Just throughout the whole game, he was deferring a lot. As soon as he would get the ball on the break, he would immediately look for LeBron and get it to him quickly. Hesitancy. He had an open three-pointer that was just, he had 100 years to shoot it, and he stepped forward. He wasn't sure if he should take the shot, and then he stepped back, took the shot out of rhythm, bricked it. It was just a very, very, very sad moment for him in terms of just his confidence. You can just see how he didn't believe in himself out there today. So I'd like to see them try to instill a little confidence in this kid. I appreciate for his sake that he was able to get minutes, but if he's not going to be able to make quality possessions out of those minutes, then he's going to harm the team. A lot of missed layups, things like that. Not so good. Dwight Howard gave us energy, but he wasn't able to channel it in the proper ways, and got us a lot of bad fouls, kept Denver at the line. It kind of kept them in positions to have those big leads, the way we just fouled so very frequently. Excuse me. At the beginning of the third quarter, we were already in the penalty within 3 minutes of the third quarter. So, needless to say, that didn't help our cause. It's very difficult to win a game when you're turning the ball over and fouling a lot, and that's what we did tonight. As I pointed out, Free throw shooting was something that we had to uh, be mindful of, especially down the stretch in games such as these. And we did miss a very key free throw down the stretch. Doe did. So, it's just something I think we need to pay attention to, and guys got to really, really get that together. What else, man? Man, it was so much to see. I did realize that they were using pick and roll quite a bit throughout the entire game. We weren't having any success with it until we switched up into a zone. Once we went to that zone, we started to steal the ball and things of that nature. Started to cut off some of their passing lanes. So by the end of the game, I felt like the Lakers were somewhat figuring out what Denver had done in terms of their adjustments. So that gives me a lot of encouragement for Game 4, because what I saw was a team struggling with something and then figuring it out as the game progressed. The same things that we were having trouble with in quarters 2 and 1, and even more so in 3 when we were turning the ball over quite a bit and fouling. In the fourth quarter, I saw them, as we were starting to make a very massive run, just simply making corrections on misreads that they had made prior in the previous quarters. So that was a good thing. You could see how our team was starting to really adapt to what Denver's doing. But when it came down to it, the heroics of Jamal Murray, he had some incredible shots. One thing that I saw him take advantage of was an elbow shot that he was doing. He was able to kind of get into a stutter step motion, do all types of pivots and things like that to get our guys off base more or less, and create space for himself. And once he gets that off, it's money. So he was hitting that a lot tonight. We just gotta continue to be mindful that we are the older team. So when we get out and run with this team, it's only but so much of that we can do. And also be mindful that they play in altitude. So they've been tired. There's a reason why they're the comeback kids. They're outlasting teams. So we got to be mindful that they are fresh legs. They're a deep team. And maybe we should try to slow the game down a bit, rather than try to get in a track meet with them, because we couldn't keep up today. And as the series progresses, I can see that being a problem if we drop another game. It could really become an issue where we're just running out of gas. So I think we need to try to play talent a little more. Try to just run some fresh legs out there in Game 4 if we get a chance to. Anthony Davis looked bad tonight. He didn't have a very good game for his standards. He was trying to force the three-point shot. I didn't think that was a good thing. Anthony Davis, in regards to the three-point shot that he caught and the other one that he had also made prior to the game winner, he was getting those off of curls. He would curl and run into the spot, and that velocity would carry him into a rhythm that would make the shot work. When he catches the ball standing upright and he's just catching for a spot-up shot, he's not as good at those three-point shots in these situations as I've seen, as opposed to those where he's able to kind of come off a pick and run into the spot. It's a rhythm thing for him, so he's going to have to figure out how to pick and choose what three-point shots he's willing to take. The spot-ups are probably not the ones we want to give him, but running off curls and picks is the way to go. He has to rebound the ball more. Look, Anthony Davis, as phenomenal as he is of a player, he has what I call Brook Lopez syndrome. And that is basically a player who had so much incredible offensive talent that their coaches forgot to teach them how to rebound the basketball. And, I mean this respectfully, but he and Brook Lopez appear to have the same issue. They just don't know how to position themselves in ways to receive the ball easily. They always seem to be getting pushed out of their position. They always seem to be reaching for the ball with one hand, all out of position, all awkward as they're trying to reach for rebounds. He just was never taught how to rebound. And that's been ever so clear to me. He's a really poor rebounder, even though he's able to get rebounds just off of his length and off of getting, just pulling boards off the off the basket, off of misses. But when we're talking about him trying to position himself against someone else and box out position and all of that, the other player 9 out of 10 times is going to get the board. He just doesn't rebound well. We're going to have to address that. One of the things that I've noticed is in playing him at center is we're probably going to be hurting out there rebounding the ball if we don't have someone alongside him who can do so. We had a lineup out there with him and I think Markieff Morris, they had set Braun. They ran a couple scores right in a row while that lineup was on the floor. And I think the reason that took place is simply because we couldn't board the ball. So it's going to be very important for our coaches to address that going forward and be honest about that. You know, we don't want to offend Anthony Davis, but yeah, no rebounds through 3 quarters, unacceptable. Unacceptable. He's too big, too talented for that to ever happen. And I was watching it take place. It wasn't like he wasn't trying. It wasn't like he was being lazy on the plays. He was just getting outworked by guys like Jeremy Grant and Nikola Jokic. They were just rebounding over him, pushing him out of the way, and gaining position like rebounders are supposed to. So, yeah, not good. Not good. Something I want the Lakers to address going forward, assuming he resigns. That I love Dwight Howard, but I don't know if he's the answer going forward. We're going to need to get a rebounder. So yeah, that was glaring. That was a glaring issue, and it contributed to why we lost. And we just have to rebound the ball better as a team. Danny Green didn't give us a whole lot tonight. KCP was playing well in the first half. Ran out of gas. I think he got a little tired, but he was playing pretty well. He's been really good throughout this entire series. And I just want to see the coach dig into the bench a little better than he did tonight. Our guys should not have run out of gas like that. We were in a very good spot in terms of this series. We're up 2-0 going into this game, and there was no reason to run our guys like he did today. You know, so yeah, that's something we have to address. Go a little deeper in your bench. Denver did. That's why the guys were able to run our guys out of the gym today. It was because they leaned on other guys in game 2. And they had fresher legs, it seemed. So the Lakers lost, man. Lakers lost by 10. I don't think it's something to panic about, but I do find myself a little frustrated after watching it, just simply because of how the structure of the game went. We get close and then get blown out and get close and blown out, and you just got to give Denver all the credit. They made fantastic adjustments. They did what they had to do to be physical. They won the rebounding battle, obviously, and they withstood a force run from us. I mean, a really, really massive run. To have withstood that is that's something to be proud of. They should feel really good going into Game 4 themselves. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. If we don't make the proper adjustments and we don't find a way to rest up and get fresh, we can see a repeat performance of what we saw tonight in Game 4. What I'm seeing, and I'm just going to tell you what my eyes are telling me, what I'm seeing is that the Lakers have been getting outplayed for pretty much the last 2 games. That's what I'm seeing. Now, we can talk about how Denver's outmatched, this, that, and the third. But bottom line is, through 3 games, Denver has played better than the Lakers. And I don't know if everybody else sees that, but that's exactly what I've seen. So, hopefully we can get it together in Game 4, but we had better. My name is BDF44, and I'm out.